As the world's population grows, more homes, buildings, and infrastructure are required. As a result, water and energy use, as well as garbage creation, have all increased significantly. The building sector is critical to increasing the quality of the built environment, but it also has a variety of environmental impacts. Throughout the development process, construction activities have an impact on the environment. These effects occur throughout the construction process, the operating phase, and finally the destruction phase when a structure reaches the end of its useful life. Even though the construction phase of a building's life is relatively brief in comparison to the other stage, it has a variety of major environmental consequences. In fact, the impact of construction activities on human and environmental health is becoming increasingly concerned. Therefore, this study aims to identify impacts of construction industry on the environment and to propose the best solution in curbing down these adverse impacts.
Different types of construction usually lead to various types of environmental and health impacts. The impact also increases depending on the scale, duration, and activities of the construction project. Some of the negative impacts are waste are usually generated from construction activities, sewage treatment plants, and many other sources. According to the case study in New Delhi in 2015, construction activities lead to the build-up of giant amounts of solid waste such as concrete chunks, stones, bricks, gravel, sand, and wood. The production of raw materials employed in construction heavily increases the toxicity of air, making it more dangerous, especially for youngsters and also the elderly. Construction works produce large quantities of dust into the environment, causing serious health issues to the workers and also to the people living nearby. Activities such as excavation generate huge volumes of dust containing silica that could spread beyond the site limits as dump trucks transport these materials to disposal sites. Silica is said to be the second most harmful substance for lung cancer after asbestos. Dust pollution can cause various respiratory diseases, transmit viruses, and threaten the physical health of residents in the nearby communities. In construction site, there are many factors that causes noise pollution. Noises usually comes from machinery or handwork construction like piling, welding, or even material transportation. Different level of noises to and from the construction site within certain period depends on what type of work are being held at site. This pollution had caused more than 500,000 workers working in a condition where the exposure of such noise may cause danger or hazard toward the workers. Diesel emissions can be produced on construction sites when an engine combusts diesel fuel for energy, causing the creation of diesel exhaust. A lot of these heavy machinery, such as heavy-duty vehicles like dump trucks and cement mixers, operate on diesel engines that release pollutants into the air. These gases are released in a very small size, which makes it easy to breathe into the lungs and causes harm to health, including lung cancer. This pollution occurs when toxic substances end up in rivers, lakes, and oceans. This pollution can be seen either on the surface water or invisible to the human eye, such as chemicals that dissolve in water. Construction activities usually use toxic chemicals like paints, cements, or glues that can end up in the water table if not managed well. All these contaminants have the potential to end up in water as a result of runoff from construction work. Pollutants enter the water system in many ways, such as through drains, seeping into soil, or run off directly into rivers or lakes.
Now, let's move on to the third one, which is solution to overcome the negative impact of construction problem. So, in 2014, US generated over 534 million tons of building trash. Demolition waste account for 90% of total debris, and the majority of it is disposed of in landfills or incinerated. Both of these techniques are harmful to the environment. So, some of the waste their technology is advancing in the waste management industry. First, turning waste into energy, and second is new collection and disposal technology. So first, turning waste into energy is the ability to convert waste into actual power. It's one of the most significant advances in the waste management sector. Certain types of waste can be transformed into energy rather than ending up in a landfill. New digesters can absorb waste, and the biogas is created and converted into energy that may be used on the spot. For the second one, which is new collection and disposal technology, is waste management can use new sensors to detect the bins are full or need to be serviced. New types of screening technology can rapidly and efficiently sort recyclables, which takes the work out of the hands of consumers and encourage higher recycling rates. Second is investing in sustainable materials and techniques. Many of the materials used in construction projects are produced at a significant cost in terms of fuel consumption and green gas emission. However, by employing alternative, recycled or salvaged materials in their projects, construction business can reduce the fuel consumption and emission connected with creating their required components. They can also use sustainable ways to reduce the impact of the work on the local environment. Some of construction materials is renewable wood, recycled plastic, bamboo, straw bales, sheep's wool, timber crate, ram earth, wood scraps and cut off, recycle brick, concrete and masonry. For the sustainable construction techniques, some of it is installing integrated automated building system, providing alternative energy, switching to synthetic roofing materials, promoting green roof, installing grey water plumbing, and experimenting with concrete. For the third is we can use diesel particle filters. For construction machinery, we can utilize diesel particulate filters to prevent undesirable soot from diesel engine from exiting through the exhaust pipe. This may appear to be very simple task, but the development of diesel particulate filter is aimed at ensuring their safe use and maximum effectiveness.
The next solution is we can limit the fuel usage. Reduced fuel use is one of the most effective ways to make a building site more ecologically friendly. The use of fossil fuels such as gas and diesel has the most detrimental impact on the environment for construction companies. There are several strategies for construction companies to lower their fuel consumption. First, we can use alternative fuel sources. Alternative fuels such as biodiesel help to reduce fuel usage and greenhouse gas emission. Next, using hybrid equipment that run on both fossil fuel and electricity also can reduce fuel consumption and greenhouse gas emissions. Also, companies can explore upgrading their equipment to more fuel-efficient models if adopting hybrid equipment is not possible. Next, lowering haul distances decrease fuel consumption by reducing the quantity of gasoline required for a trip. Moreover, we can minimize vehicle idling time. Automobiles continue to use fossil fuel even while they are static. The next solution to overcome negative impact is by using a noise barrier. Construction noise is a significant cause of pollution. The majority of the noise comes from machinery used for site preparation, demolition and landscaping. The main key preventative techniques for reducing noise pollution are by using moving noise barriers, erecting wall-like structures to act as sound shields, carefully handling materials and using quiet power tools and equipment. When starting a building project, remember to be mindful of others and follow any municipal construction time limitation. Another good option is to send a note to neighbors before starting work, informing them of the project's duration and what to expect. The last solution that we can take is by implementing the dewatering system. When water is evacuated from a building site, it is often sediment-laden, and if dumped without treatment, it can have a severe influence on adjacent water supplies. In dewatering procedures, sediment filtration is the process of separating sediment and other particles from rainwater by passing it through a sealed fence or other permeable media that captures a large percentage of the particles.
To be a professional engineer, besides using critical thinking in solving problems, it is important to establish social responsibilities. An engineer should play a role in taking professional responsibility with honesty, integrity, and equity towards public health, safety, environment, and sustainability. Engineers must manage the risks associated with the technology they develop. Engineers should counter anything that is meant to harm the public interest by avoiding circumstances that might be detrimental to the environment, human life, health, or other human rights. Engineers must consider the environment and ecology in their work to guarantee a good environment in the current and future. The same goes for sustainability. It requires consideration of current situation as well as future generation, incorporating environmental, sociological, and economic factors. Engineers have an important part in the development of green technology, which will be essential to minimize pollution to protect the planet. In closing, in fulfilling social responsibilities, engineers must pay attention to society, engage with the public, communicate, and ensure that engineering meets people demands.